Okay, welcome. We are starting Amud 44a, Berakhos, Mem Dalet Amud Aleph, right at the very top, which starts with a brand new Mishnah. Haviu lefan of Maliach Tchila upas imav. Someone who's brought salty foods and bread is with it. Mevarech al hamaliach upoter asapas. You make the bracha on the salty foods, and that covers the bread. Now, that's a very controversial thing for the Mishnah to say, because how can it be that a salty food can cover bread? Well, the Mishnah goes on to explain in the very next three words. She'hapas tfeilalo, because the bread is secondary to the maliach, the salty food, and therefore, and then the Mishnah is going to explain the ruling. Zaklal, this is the general rule. Kol shu ikar v'imot tefila, anything that has a general or a primary food in front of him, the imot tefila, and with it is a secondary food, such as milk in cereal. Milk is secondary to the cereal and things like that. Mevorech al ha'ikr, he makes the bracha on the ikr, on the central food, upoter asad tefila, and that includes the secondary food. So that's a very important rule to know in all of Hilkhos brachos, and it's something that came up a few times already, and it'll probably come up more times again in this remainder of this parak. Gemara asks the question: where would you find such a thing where the salty food is the primary and the bread is the secondary? Amar Rav Acha Bredi Rav Avira, Amar Rav Ashi. Rav Acha said, the son of Rav Avira said in the name of Rav Ashi, about ochli peros genosar shanu. This is talking about someone who eats the fruits of genosar, which are very, very, very sweet, delicious, maybe even very expensive, but definitely very treasured fruits that the people of Genosar and even around, they love these fruits. Amar Rabba bar Barchana. Rabba bar Barchana said, now it's important to note that Rabba bar Barchana is known for making very exaggerated claims throughout the entire Gemara, and he's very interesting Amora in that way. A lot of Agadic midrashim are written about him throughout Shas. So let's hear what he says. Anyway, what he says is very important. Kihava azlinan basra Rabbi Yochanan. When I used to follow Rabbi Yochanan in Eretz Yisrael, l'mechal peros genosar, we would go to eat the fruits of genosar. Kihavinan beimeya, when there were 100 students following Rabbi Yochanan, menaktinan lekol chad v'chad asara. He would give everyone, or each one of us would take 10 of these fruits for Rabbi Yochanan. And when there were only 10 students following Rabbi Yochanan, every single student would take 100 fruits for Rabbi Yochanan. So in any case, no matter how many students were going with Rabbi Yochanan, he'd always have 1,000 of these peros gneser. As I said, Rabbi Barchana tended to exaggerate a lot. V'kol mea meinahu, and every 100 of us, every one of 100 students, have a machzik l'hud sina bar klasa sa'ui. Each one of us had a basket which contained 3 se'ah of fruit. So if we say that of the 100 people, each one had a basket of every single person, each person was holding 10 fruits, was holding 3 se'ah, then it comes out that 3 se'ah equals 6 kavim. 1 se'ah is 6 kavim, and then a kav is 4 lugim, and a log is 6 eggs. So altogether, a se'ah is the size of 144 eggs. 3 se'ah would be 432 eggs. So if each person is carrying the size of a basket that carries 432 eggs, and each one is only carrying 10 fruits, then each fruit is about the size of 43 eggs, which is an insane amount. It's like a huge fruit. And as I said, he tended to exaggerate a lot and have these, very broad claims. And Rabbi Yochanan would eat all of them. And then he would swear that he did not even taste a bit of food. So now that's the story of Rabba bar Barchana. And really the point of the story is to tell us how delicious and tasty these fruits were. That Rabbi Yochanan would eat so many, he would eat 1,000 in one day, and it would be like he didn't even eat anything at all. So do you mean he didn't? It's as if he didn't taste any food? No, that can't be right. Ela ema mizona. But really, what he meant is he didn't feel full. because you can eat more and more delicious food and keep eating. And even though you're, kind of eating a lot, delicious food, you can eat a lot of it. That's what the Gemara understands Rabbi Rachana to mean. Rabbi Abahu Achil Ad Ahavah Sharik Le Dudva Mea Pose. Rabbi Abahu used to eat them so much. Ad Ahavah Sharik Le Dudva Mea Pose, until flies used to slip off his forehead. And that's how much, because he would be sweating and perspiring with the sweet sweat from all the sugar of this fruit, and it would smooth his forehead, and flies would not be able to stick to his forehead. Rav Ami, Rav Asi, Hava Achli Ad Denisr Mazaihu, and Rav Ami and Rav Asi would eat until their hair would fall out. Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish, Hava Achel Ad Demarid. Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish would eat until he went crazy, until he started to hallucinate or started to go a little nuts. And Va'amar Lahu Rabbi Yochanan L'Devei Nesiya, and Rabbi Yochanan would then call the head, the Nasi, the house of the Nasi. V'hava Mishader Le Rabbi Yehuda Nesiya, and then Rabbi Yehuda the Nasi would send Ba'alushe Avasre. He would send a whole band of men after him, Umaise Le Levese, and brought him home. So he would eat this fruit so much, he would get so to speak drunk on this fruit that people would have to literally carry him home. Ki asa ravdimi. So again, all these are just talking about that kind of fruit from Eretz Yisrael and giving it a lot of praise that it was so delicious. And were these stories literally true? Probably not, but the idea is true, that they're such delicious fruit that it would make people this crazy to get these kinds of fruits. Next story in the Gemara. Ki asa ravdimi amar, when Ravdimi came from Eretz Yisrael, he would say. Now, Ravdimi was kicked out of Eretz Yisrael by the Roman emperor at the time, along with many of the other rabbis. And Ravdimi is known for telling a lot of stories about Eretz Yisrael and the history of Eretz Yisrael, the people who used to live there. He would kind of try to keep the tradition alive. And so now he's going to tell a story about a king who lived about 300 to 400 years before him. There was one city for Yanai the king. This is Yanai, I believe Yanai Alexander. It was one of the Hashmonaim, who was a couple generations after the Chanukah story. Bahar HaMelech. It was on Har HaMelech. They used to bring 600,000 dishes of, I believe, saflei taris is sardines. So 600,000 dishes of sardines. For what purpose? Likotzei te'enim. For the people who used to cut down fig trees, may Erev Shabbos l'Erev Shabbos. Every single week, the people who would cut down figs, there were so many people cutting down these figs, they needed 600,000 plates of fish to feed all these people. Ki asa Ravin Amar. When Ravin came, he said, there was one tree that Yanai, this king, used to have on Har HaMelech. They used to take down 40 se'ah, and as he said, a se'ah is about 144 eggs. So 40 se'ah is, over 5,000 eggs worth of pigeons or doves, 3 times a month. So imagine 50,000, so 150,000 doves a month. Again, probably kind of an exaggeration, but even so, it's a lot of pigeons. Ki asa Rav Yitzchak Amar, when Rav Yitzchak came, he said, Ir achas haisa b'Eretz Yisrael. There was one city in Eretz Yisrael, v'gufanis shma, and its name was Gofnis. Shehayu bas shmonim zugos achim kahanim. There were 80 pairs of brothers, all of which were kohanim. Nisua l'shmonim zugos achayos kahanos. We were married to 80 pairs of kohanim, of bas kohanim, of women who were the daughters of kohanim. Uvadka rabbanan misura ta'ad nahar da'ah. The rabbis searched from Surah to Nahar Da'ah. V'lo ashkhu bar mivnasei d'Rav Chizda, and they could not find anyone of a pair of brothers married to a pair of sisters except for the daughters of Rav Chizda. Dahavu nasiban l'Rami bar Chama. One was married to Rami bar Chama, u'lemar Ukva bar Chama, and the other was married to Mar Ukva bar Chama. So the two sons of Rav Chama married to the two daughters of Rav Chizda. Now, Nahar Da'ah to Surah is not that far apart. this is Surah right here, and there's Nahar Da'ah. And if we can see in the map, all the way here, there is Eretz Yisrael. And the distance is approximately the size from, I'd say, Jerusalem to Haifa, maybe a little bit more, is about that distance, which really is not that far if you think about it. So, but nevertheless, most of the Jews at that time were living in this part of the world. So when the rabbi said they searched from Surah to Nahar Da'ah, it really meant they were searching for a lot of, most of the Jews. They were able to search for almost the entire Jewish nation, and they could only find that one example of people married, two brothers married to two sisters. The Afagav, the Eno Havi Kahanta. And they were not, and even though these women were Bas Kohanim, Inhu Lo Havu Kohanim. The two brothers they were married to were not Kohanim. So it wasn't even, it was not a similar case. Amar Rav. Rav said, Kol Suuda she'ein ba melach eina suda. Any meal that does not have salt is not considered a meal. Amar Rabbi Chia bar Abba, Amar Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Chia bar Abba says in the name of Rabbi Yochanan, Kol Suuda she'ein ba sarif eina suda. Any meal that does not have soup is not a real suda. Okay, so we finished that mission. Now we go on into the next mission. I believe this mission is going to take us to the end of the parak. Achal anavim te'enim rimonim. If someone ate grapes or figs or pomegranates, mevarech achrehem shalosh brachos. He has to make full after bracha benching after he eats these fruits, which is very odd because nowadays it's not at all how we paskin, and that's not the current halacha. Divrei Rabban Gamliel, but that is what Rabban Gamliel held. But the Chachamim disagreed. Bracha achas mein shalosh. You make one bracha, which includes all three, which we would call today al hamichya, or in the case of our Mishnah, since they're fruits, al haperos, which we know is what we do. Rabbi Akiva says, afilu achal shlak v'hu mazono, even if someone ate just a cooked vegetable, but that is his entire meal, mevarech alav shalosh brachos. He makes the full benching after it. So according to Rabbi Akiva, at least, benching is nothing to do with bread, nothing to do with really serious food mentioned in the Torah, but it's to do with a personal matter. What's your meal? If your meal is vegetables, then you make that's what you make on it. If someone drinks water because he's thirsty, he makes a shahakol. Rabbi Tarfon Omer, a very strange opinion, that the bracha he makes is not shahakol, but borei nefashos rabos v'chesronan, which now we would call the after bracha for water. But according to Rabbi Tarfon, that would be the bracha he would make before drinking water. Okay, into the Gemara. My time on Rabban Gamliel. What's the reason of Rabban Gamliel? Because Rabban Gamliel says full benching after the fruits, te'enim, rimonim, anavim. Okay, what's his reason? Why does he say that? Dichsiv says in the pasuk, eretz, chita, usaora, etc. So the pasuk in Dvarim, Berakhos, pasuk ches, eretz, chita, usaora, v'gefen, ute'ena, v'rion, eretz, zeh, shemen, udvash. These are the 7 species of Eretz Yisrael. Skip all the way down here. V'achalta v'savata. Eat, be satisfied. Uve'rachta as Hashem Elokecha al ha'aretz tova shenasan lach. And this pasuk 10, is the source for benching. So we see the connection between these 7 species, which include grapes, which include figs, pomegranates, connected to benching. So that's his logic for benching after those fruits. Uksiv, and it says later, the Eretz Asher Lo b'miskones tochal ba'lechem, a land which you will not eat bread with poverty or with limitations. You won't have limitations on the bread you have to eat. Uksiv, and it also says, eat, be satisfied, and bless Hashem your God. And that's benching. For Rabbanan, but the Rabbanan Eretz hifsik be'inyan. The word Eretz pauses or breaks the topic. So the rabbis look at this pasuk and they see the word Eretz right here. Eretz asher lo b'miskunas or b'miskenus tochal ba'lechem. And they said, okay, now we're talking about a new topic, and we separate. Create a dividing line right there between Eretz chita, seora, gefen, teina, the 7 species, and v'echad v'savata v'rachta es Hashem Elokecha. Rabban Gamliel nami Eretz hifsik be'inyan. And for Rabban Gamliel, he has the same Torah. The word Eretz should also divide the 2 topics. So why does he shoot right through that divide? Hahumi baile l'meuta koses es hachita. he needs the word eretz for something else. And for him, the word eretz does not divide the topic, because he uses the word eretz to teach that whoever chews on wheat does not make a benching after it. So that's the halacha he learns from it, and therefore he shoots right through and connects the fruits of the Sheva Minim down to benching. Amar Rav Yaakov Bar Idi, Amar Rav Chanina, Kol shehu mechamesh haminim, anything that's included in the 5 species, meaning the 5 species mentioned, 5 of the species mentioned in that pasuk, except for the 2 wheats or the 2 grains, chita and saora. But the other 5, grapes, figs, pomegranates, olives, and dates. The other 5, those 5 minim, betchila mavarich alav bari minim mizonos. At first you say bari minim mizonos, which is again a very strange, because we're not used to it, because we don't paskin that way. But nevertheless, that's what Rav Yaakov Bar Idi says. And at the end, bracha achas mein shalosh. You make 1 bracha for all 3, which we would call al hamichya or al ha'etz. Amar Rabba Bar Mari, Amar Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. Rabba Bar Mari said the name of Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, Kol shehu meshivas haminim, anything from the entire 7 species, but tchilam mevarich bori priya eitz. At first you say bori priya eitz. Now that itself is very strange, because he's including wheat and barley. On wheat and barley, you would say ha'etz, according to Rabba Bar Mari. U'lebasof bracha achas mein shalosh. And at the end, 1 bracha to include everything, which also is very strange, because he would include bread. 1 bracha would be an al hamichya, and that's it. Amar le Abaye l'Rav Dimi. Abaya said to Rav Dimi, "My nihu bracha achas mein shalosh. What is this 1 bracha mein shalosh? What is this? What is the text of al hamichya or al haperos?" Amar le, he said, apere de'etz, for fruits of the tree. You say the following: al ha'etz val pure eitz val tunuvas sada ve'al eretz chemda tova rechava she'en chalta la'oseni la'achal mi'pria v'lisbayim tuva rachem Hashem Elokeinu al Yisrael mecha v'al Yerushalayim recha ve'al mikdashecha v'al mizbechecha v'tivna Yerushalayim ir kadshecha b'mher v'yameinu v'halinu l'secha v'samcheinu ba ki ata tov u'mitiv lakol. And that's the text of the bracha. So very quickly to run over that, he would say for the tree, for the fruit of the tree, for the growth of the land, for the land itself, Chemda Tova, very good land, Urechava, wide land, Shen Chatla Vasenu, that you gave to our fathers, Lachol and Priya, to eat from the fruit, L'spoim Tivat, to be satisfied from its goodness. Rachem Hashem Elokeinu al Yisrael Mecha. Hashem, please have mercy on your nation Israel. Val Yerushalayim Recha, on Jerusalem, your city. Val Mikdashecha, and on your Beis HaMikdash. Val Mizbechecha, and on your altar. V'tivna Yerushalayim ir kadshecha, and you should rebuild Yerushalayim, your holy city, b'mehir of Yaminu, quickly in our days. V'halinu l'socha v'samcheinu ba, and we will go up into it and be happy there. Ki ata tov u'mitiv lakol, because you are good and do good for everything. And then, so that's for the fruits, the chameshes haminim. But for the 5 special species of grain, 5 special species of grain, al hamichya val kalkala val tumas sada v'chulei. And so al hamichya, that's the text of al hamichya that we know and understand. The chosem, and you end the bracha, you close the bracha at the end by saying Baruch Ata Hashem al haaretz al hamichya, on the land and on the sustenance, on filling us up. So michtam b'may chasim. So with al haperos, how do we end that bracha? Ki asa Rav Dimi Amar. When Rav Dimi came, he said, Rav chasim b'Rosh Chodesh, on Rosh Chodesh, Rav would end with the following: Baruch Mikdash, Baruch Mikadesh Yisrael v'Rosh Chadashim. Blessed is the one, and of course he's saying Baruch Ata Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam Mikadesh Yisrael v'Rosh Chadashim, who makes Yisrael holy, and also the beginnings of the month. So hachamai, what do we say here over the fruits? Rav Chizda Amar, Rav Chizda says, Al haaretz v'al peroseha, on the land and on its fruits. And Rav Chizda, important to know, lived in Bavel. Al haaretz v'al per, and on its fruits. Its fruits. What do you mean its fruits? Its fruits meaning the subject of the bracha. It means Eretz Yisrael. Rabbi Yochanan Amar, Rabbi Yochanan, who lived in Israel, he said, Al haaretz v'al haperos, on the land and on fruits. Not on its fruits, just on stam fruits. Amar Rav Amram, Rav Amram said, Velo pligi, they don't disagree. Halan, Rav Chisda is talking for us, we living in Bavel. Vahalahu, and Rabbi Yochanan is talking about them living in Eretz Yisrael. So Maskif La, Rabbi Nachman Bar Yitzchak. Rabbi Nachman Bar Yitzchak had a problem with this. Inhu achli va'anan mevarchin. So they eat and we make the bracha, meaning to say that they make the bracha on fruits in general, and we in Bavel make the fruit on its fruits in Israel. That doesn't make any sense. Ella ipuch. Rather, it's the other way around. Rav Chisda Amar al ha'aretz v'alaperos. Rav Chisda said, on the land and on fruits, just general. Rav Yochanan, the one who lives in Israel, Amar al ha'aretz v'alperoseha. On the land and on its fruits. And just to end us off, the Rambam actually quotes this lahalacha. Al ha'peros omer, when you so the after bracha on fruits, you say al ha'etz, val pri ha'etz, val tunvas esada, val ez chemda, v'chulei, etc. The whole text of al ha'peros brought down in the Gemara. And then he talks the same thing on wine. You say al ha'gefen, val pri ha'gefen. The chosem b'shtehem al ha'aretz, val ha'peros, and you close both of them with al ha'aretz, val ha'peros. The im hayav Eretz Yisrael, but if you are in Israel, chosim al haaretz al peros seha. You close with al haaretz and on its fruits. So that is an important distinction when you're in America versus in Israel, or anywhere around the world versus in Israel. There's a slight difference in the bracha we make on the after bracha of fruits. Okay, thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a beautiful, wonderful, and blessed day.